Hello and welcome to episode 15 of Inside the LPGA podcast, which, quick side note, I cannot believe we are on episode 15. Thank you everyone so far for the season for watching and listening and tuning in. I'm very happy to have you here, and I'm also so excited to be here with Talley and Adam Stanley. I am Hope Barnett, and I'm ready to get this episode underway. We have a lot to talk about, a lot to discuss, but we will get to that in a minute. First and foremost, I want to know how my pals are doing. What's going on? It looks like Adam is in a haunted house, but he's not. So tell us where you are.
Well, yeah, we're just adding to the spooky season vibe of this entire pod. No, I'm a member of a club in downtown of the city in which I live. So I was down here because my wife and daughter are at a music class at the at a little downtown. They're at a music class. It should, they're having.
You're like, I don't know the details.
No, I came downtown with them. I'm a member here. I bopped over. I'm doing a little bit of work. It's a little spooky. I don't know who this guy is, but he's ready to go. And for those who are just listening, it's like a creepy painting of a guy playing a saxophone. And anyways, so my kid's gonna go bang a drum and maybe sing a song and figure it out. My wife's gonna try not to get a migraine this morning. That was pretty much the play. But it's fall here. Like, we get seasons up here, unlike in the south. But
can't relate.
It's been absolutely tremendous the last couple of days, and I hope everyone enjoys our interview later. Hope with spoiler alert, you'll bring it up soon. But it was a good one. It's
going to be a good one.
Yes, Emma, what are you doing? You're swinging sticks. You're hanging out. You're getting ready for the fall. You're getting ready to tee it up a little bit more here in the last couple of weeks. What's cooking?
I was lucky enough to have a little bit of time off, which, as a professional golfer, you do not get much of that. So I didn't go to Asia this year, which is where the LPGA Tour is at the moment. So I actually took like a week and a half off after Arkansas, which was so, so nice. Then I started practicing. I had a couple lessons last week, and then I played a Pro-Am yesterday. And it was the first time I'd played 18 holes since Arkansas, because I've just been practicing. And actually, no, it was the second time I'd played 18 holes. And it was pretty horrendous. So I'm actually going to go and practice with my dad, because I was like, I need some work. So when that happens, I call my dad and he helps me. So it's about to be a grind the next 2 weeks, because I want to finish out the season strong. You never know what can happen the last couple of weeks. I'm first alternate for Pelican at the moment, but they redo it after Hawaii. So if I have a good week at Hawaii, then that puts me in Pelican, and then that could keep my, all the things.
All the things.
So I'm really excited to kind of grind the next couple weeks. It's always fun to wake up and be like, it's time.
It is time. Yeah.
It's time to go. Well, fingers crossed, because I would like to see you at Pelican. So, I'll be rooting for you per usual, as always.
Thank you.
But it is time we get this episode underway, and we have so many exciting things today. Adam already kind of teased it, but we have an interview with Annika So, the legend. That's right. A lot of people call her the GOAT. I don't know. I've heard it. And I think, you know what? I agree. She's earned that title. 72 LPGA Tour wins, 10 major championships. They call her Miss 59 because she shot a 59 in a tournament, which is absolutely insane to think about. But we are so excited. And on top of that, before we get to the interview, I want to tease some other things that we're going to be getting to later in this episode. So keep listening. We are going to build our perfect player, which I'm really excited about. And I want everyone to also interact with this. So comment, share, do whatever you need to do, whatever platform you're listening to this on. And we're also going to talk about Asia and everything going on over there. So without further ado, I think it is time we toss to our interview with Annika So. All right, everybody, welcome the one and only Annika So to the podcast. I mean, honestly, I think it's safe to say, many people have said it, I've said it, you are kind of the GOAT. So we are very, very flattered to have you on Inside the LPGA podcast. But how's it going? I know you're so busy and you are preparing for one of your newer roles as a tournament host.
Well, thank you very much for having me. Yes, I guess my schedule does fill up. It's fun. I do a lot of fun things, and one of those things on the calendar is certainly the Annika driven by Gamebridge. And you're right. It's just around the corner, really. you always think the end of a year is, it's coming, but it's really coming up soon. So we're starting to do the final preparation. So I'm excited about that.
Yeah. I mean, I know you obviously have the Annika Foundation and you've helped a lot of girls, kind of grow throughout their career in golf. But how amazing is it to kind of do it at this level, see the best in the world, tee it up at your event and to have your name, on that title. I just think that's so awesome.
Yeah, thank you. No, it is awesome. It's a little bit, I don't know, unreal at sometimes. You see your name as the name of the tournament and all the signage. They've done a great job. But yeah, I mean, it's a dream come true to be able to continue to be part of the LPGA where, as you know, I mean, that's kind of where my career took off, and now be able to be part of today's superstar and, the players out there today. And many of our players that we see have, been part of the Annika Foundation in different events. So it's nice to see the next generation. And so I'm super excited. And, we have a lot going on that week, as you can imagine, not just a competition, but whether it's Pro-Am and different things. So yeah, it's fun to be part of.
That's awesome.
Annika, you're talking about, to the superstars of the LPGA Tour. Obviously, this year, of course, we've seen Hannah Green. She just won again. That was her third time. Lydia, of course, has done everything that she's done. And Nelly, obviously, at the beginning of the season as well. I'm curious, 2002 Annika Sorenstam, primetime Annika Sorenstam, how would you be able to compete against some of the players today on the LPGA Tour?
Yeah, that's a good question. I mean, I would love to say I would be contending. It's obviously hard to compare today's generation with another generation. But yeah, I mean, I was very competitive at the time with Kari Webb or Seri Pak or Lorena Ochoa, which was kind of the four of us at that time was, at the top of the leaderboard here and there. And, when it comes down towards the end of the year, as you know, I mean, there's still a lot on stake, whether it was Player of the Year or their trophy, the scoring average, and for the upcomers, Rookie of the Year. So, I would think that tournament would have been a priority of mine, just making sure to finish strong. And I would have welcomed playing all of them, of course.
Love it.
So, yeah, it would have been fun.
You're talking about playing golf, and of course you still tee it up in some, tournaments as the year kind of goes on. But we, as fans of golf, and obviously a lot of the listeners have kind of seen you and kind of known you as, this person that plays on the LPGA Tour. And now, of course, you're a businesswoman with so many different interests. So what does kind of like a day in the life look like for you? Are you up hitting balls? Are you on Zooms with people halfway across the world? What does like a day?
Do you sleep?
Yeah. Do you have like you got to start your day with a glass of orange juice and a double espresso, or else you can't function? Or what is the day in the life kind of like for you these days?
Yeah, I guess a little bit of everything. No, I mean, school days, school, I don't go to school, but our kids go to school. So yeah.
I was like, are you doing an MBA as well on top of all this other stuff? Yeah.
Getting my education that I never finished. No, but the alarm goes off at 6:15 and just trying to get kids ready with their lunch boxes and all the stuff they need. And they're out the door by 7:15, whether I take them or Mike drives them. And then it's what you said. It's maybe not the orange juice and a double espresso, but I like to hit the gym if I have time. Just I really enjoy that. And then it's either a breakfast, and then it's some emails, some Zoom calls, like I said, maybe a photo shoot, maybe some other things. If I don't travel, I still travel quite a bit. I will be gone a day or two a week to different corporate outings or partners of mine or the foundation. So, but when I'm home, I love to be outside. I mean, sounds a little boring maybe, but I do enjoy some gardening work and just being outside, hanging with some friends. We like to entertain on weekends.
Yeah, love it.
But then it's 3:00 and kids are coming home, and now it's like whether I take Will somewhere, I take Ava somewhere for practice. She plays softball, and Will obviously the golf course, but then it's I would say I am with the family. We're big believers in having dinner together. So I cook most of the time. And so sitting down together, it's 5:30 or 6, and it's a big deal. That's kind of where we talk about the day and just kind of hang out. And then, then it's obviously time to slowly go to bed with getting everything organized for the following day. So I would say our family is very, probably a very typical family, you would think, and which I enjoy. I enjoy that part of being at home and just, enjoying friends and family. So, but yeah, there's a lot of business in between, whether, like you said, Zoom and calls. And but I like to do it when the kids are gone, and then I focus on them when they're home.
Do you have like a go-to dish that you like making in the kitchen?
I mean, I've been a pasta girl.
There we
since,
go.
Since my early days. So pasta is a hit
Easy.
at home.
Love
But yeah, we do. Taco Tuesdays, why not? It's easy. Kids know what they're getting, and then of course I have to sprinkle in fish twice a week, and then I'm not so popular. But I tell them it's brain food, and you gotta, I'm a believer in varieties. So try to just kind of, make sure that they are, adventuring to foods. And, once they leave and go out for college, you're on your own, but at least I want to make sure that they have had a variety of choices throughout their life.
Amazing.
Oh, I love that. I feel like that conversation actually led perfectly into my next question. And that is, I think something that you are a perfect example of is that women can do it all. You can be a businesswoman, you can be an athlete, a 72-time winner on the LPGA Tour, and you can also be a mom and a good wife. How amazing is it to be able to set that example for women maybe wondering, like, can I do it all?
Well, you're very sweet, Hope. Thank you. I mean, I try to do the best that I can. I'm not a perfect 10 by any means, but I strive to do, what I'm capable of and have my priorities right. When I competed, it was all about my golf and my partners and my sponsors, and that was kind of all I had at that time. Now it's a little different. It's not so much about me personally. It's more about others, and I want to make sure when it comes to our family that I'm doing my part, and we raise kids that are have good values and morals, and just a loving and comfortable home, and hopefully they can strive in their own setting. But I do have to give my husband Mike a lot of credit. It takes two to dance, so to speak, and I could not ask for a better partner. I mean, he always steps in. He always does when I can't be there, or if I'm lacking at something, and I know I have a strong foundation with him. So that makes it a lot easier because it's really his teamwork. But yeah, it's funny. I think golf has really taught me a lot about life. When you're in the middle of competing, you really think that that's all you know. But when you start dissecting golf, what it does, and as far as just, obviously work hard, we know what that is. But, goal setting and plan setting and, traveling and packing and organizing and not, second guess yourself. All those things are so similar to life. I mean, you decide I'm hitting a 7-iron and you commit to it. And then the same thing in life, just got to commit to certain things and do it. I don't waste a lot of time to be able to do it, obviously. And so, but thank you. I think my goal with just being a mom is to be able to, do my best, because that's all you can do. I make mistakes, I make bogeys, but you just got to own up to them and learn from them.
Yeah. I feel like kids, we're hyping you up over here, we're gassing you up, but I feel like kids were put on this earth to humble you, like to humble their parents. I know I did to my parents when I was younger, and I love, like, some of my favorite interviews are you and Will, and Will's like, oh, like she might need to work on her putting a little bit, which I just think is amazing. But how, great has it been to see him grow in his golf, and, y'all get to play in the PNC championship together, and what's that been like this year?
Oh, it's been, it's so much fun, and it just warms my heart. And first of all, when you see your child finds something they love to do, right? He's obsessed about golf, and that's all he wants to do. And then to be able to do it together, to practice together, to compete together, walk inside the ropes and share those memories, and, just discuss different shots or different challenges, the highs and the lows, whatever it is. But it's been really neat. It really has. And so, to be able to share this moment where he gets a chance to, hit balls next to some of the, the PGA Tour greats. And it's just, you should see him. He wakes up with that particular week, the PNC. He's up early, can't wait. He's like waiting in the car, ready to go. And it's like, I drop him off and he takes off, and he's very comfortable in that environment. And I just love it. As you know, it's a tough sport. It's extremely competitive, and so who knows where his career will take him. But the point, I think, is just I want him just to do what he enjoy, and I know he's going to do something in golf because it's such a great sport, and he appreciates the sports, and he knows so much about it. And I think that just, to see him light up every day when he's, I wave him off to the range, it's like, I know he's in a good spot.
He's like, okay, bye.
Yeah.
Annika, I'm curious about how you would maybe assess or how you feel like what golf has been able to bring to your life. You know what I mean? Like when it comes from this event the PNC event is just in Florida. It's very, very close. But then you've got, all the world traveling you've been able to do and the people you've met and the golf courses you've been able to see and the world leaders you've been able to talk to. How would you kind of describe how golf has just impacted the way that you've gone about living your life the last 30, 40, 50 years?
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, I just stopped playing at home when I was a young girl just because my parents played, and it was kind of fun. You really don't think about it. And then one thing led to another, and I was able to start traveling just in my district. And then it kind of expanded to my region. And then it was all of a sudden I'm representing Sweden, golf tournaments around the world. And yeah, it's tremendous. It really is. I mean, it taught me a lot about life and the people I've met and just, memories, right? But it also pushed me to become not just a better golfer, but just as grow as a human. And then obviously the opportunity to come over to the U.S. and have a life here and pursue my dream on the LPGA. And it's just, I don't know, it's really surreal at times. And then you just think of the places and when you said, 20, 30, 50, you're like, whoa, it's crazy how time flies. And but now, I think I get a lot of enjoyment out of, working with the young girls through the Annika Foundation and, remembering what it was like when I was a teenager and when I started and then when I was serious about competing and the steps that it takes to become a college player. And then, you graduate from college, what's next? Can I do this for a living? So I really enjoy that mentoring part. I'm just talking about, different steps in their career. I'm not so much about the swing, and everybody has good swing coaches and so forth, but kind of the pieces that put it all together, as the personal pieces that comes with it. And yeah, so it's been rewarding for me to be able to do that, since I stepped away. And it's pretty cool. I feel lucky to have, picked up a sport and then just really taking it to where it is today. And obviously a day doesn't go by without golf, whether I swing a club, talk golf, or walk on a golf course. It's just kind of part of life.
Oh, that's awesome. I guess too, you're talking about mentoring people. Did you realize, we have to talk a little bit about the 59, and all of your accomplishments, but did you realize when you were doing things like that and breaking records and winning over and over again that you would have such an impact? To me, I think you had a huge impact on Swedish golf. You see all of the Swedish golfers now on the LPGA Tour, Madeline, Maya, Lynn. Like, did you realize that you were going to maybe have an impact on young girls at that time?
No, I think I was, just focusing on player and focusing on learning from others, the people that were ahead of me, the generation above me. I was looking and learning and trying to just become a better player. And I didn't really, you never know what your career is going to be like, with one tournament and it's, I don't know, just things just kind of fall into place slowly. And I think naturally more than anything, it wasn't, my goal wasn't to go out there and trying to influence the next generation. But I do know I felt like, being in a sport and being in the limelight, so to speak, we see it with the players at the top of the leaderboard today. We all do have a responsibility because you represent not just yourself, but your family, maybe your country and, women in sports. So I feel like you always have a, obligation or responsibility to do that. But I never really, you don't really know. Those are things you can't control. You can't, if it happens that you influence somebody, that's great, but it's not something that I try to do other than just be a good role model and do the things that I thought was right and be authentic about myself. Because I get a lot of questions, how do you get there? And I think the key really is just, you got to be you, right?
Yeah.
I remember when I won the U.S. Open, my first tournament in 1995, there were some people there, especially media, because it was a time where Nancy Lopez was, starting to retire and step away, and everybody was looking for, the next Nancy. And then I won, and they said, well, here's the next Nancy. And I was shaking my head. I said, no, I'm not her next Nancy. First of all, Nancy is, there's only one Nancy. There's only one Nancy Lopez, and she has her personality and the way she is. And I can be the best Annika out there and the things that I stand for. But, at the time, I felt a lot of pressure trying to fill her shoes. And that's why I never really wanted to, try to do that. I just said, I'm going to play the best, and what comes with it, comes with it. But so now, obviously, being this role, I'm thankful that I can influence others because golf has been so good to me. And so what can I do to help other young girls fulfill their dreams?
Totally.
Annika, last one from me, and then we'll send it back to Hope to wrap things up. But I'm so curious about you. You're so well traveled. You've been everywhere. It seems like. But is there still a golf course that might be on your bucket list? Is there one that's out there that you haven't played yet that you really want to?
There's what do they have? The top 100 top ranked courses in America. I don't even know if I've done 40 of them. Okay. So I would think that there would be about 60 plus. So yeah, there's a lot of places that I haven't been to. I know there's a lot of courses up Northeast. I love Northeast courses. But also, there's links courses out in Oregon, Bandon Dunes I haven't been to. Yeah. So I would say that I still have a long list to try, which I'm excited about.
There you go. Fair enough.
I don't think I get to all of them, but it's nice to know that there's still some out there, and I look forward to exploring them. Hopefully with Will, because I think he would really enjoy that, and we would have fun together.
That would be awesome. Yeah, love it.
Mm-hmm. Love that. I just have 2 more questions, but before we get to the final one, I actually want to ask you about Caitlin Clark. She's going to be playing in your tournament. Obviously, she has grown the women's basketball game so much just since she's, really come into the spotlight. But how excited are you to have her there? And I don't know if you've met her yet, but I'm excited to meet her. So
No, I'm excited to meet her too. I have not met her. No, it's super cool. What can I say? I think, well, first of all, what she's done the last year or so is just amazing. To go from college golf as she did, and then come out and be. I thought she was dominant, but that's just my opinion. But she's, she now wherever she goes, they outsell, and she's just taken women's basketball to a total different level. And I think it's awesome for young girls to have a role model like Caitlin. And so we look forward to having her. I've heard she's quite the golfer, and she loves to play.
It. Yeah.
So yes, it's going to give our tournament some love, and hopefully we give her some love back, and I think it's going to be wonderful. It's nice, Cambridge does so much for women's sports, and for them to bring her in there. And last year we had some different affiliations with Billie Jean King, etc. And so thank you to Cambridge for doing that. But yeah, I think we have a different type of crowd to come out, whether it's for the Women's Summit or for the Pro-Am. It's going to be so much fun.
Yeah, I can't wait to see it.
It's going to be very cool.
Last question, and it is our big question of the podcast. It's our Serve Pro question. So in golf, when bad shots happen, there's the mulligan ball. And when fire, water, or other damage happens, there's Serve Pro. So they know how to make it like it never even happened. I know I have plenty of mulligans I would like to take. I love a good breakfast ball. But that's where our question comes in to you. If you could take any mulligan, whether it be in life, in golf, it could be something like silly. It doesn't have to be serious. Where do you think you would take it?
Oh, wow. I need a lot of mulligans. I am far from perfect. When it comes to golf, I think there's one tournament that I wish I would have won. I had a chance, but Vicky Getz, who actually works for the tour now, she beat me in a 36-hole U.S. Amateur in 1992, I believe, in Chicago, Kemper Lakes.
Wow.
That one I do remember. The last hole, and I hit in the water, and she beat me by 1. I never really, I won the NCAAs, but never won like a U.S. Amateur. That would have been, but, I think you learn from your mistakes, and you get stronger. So, I'm not going to be one that's going to look back at too many things, and, that I, somewhat, regret, because I think I've learned something. I think that's the biggest lesson. So not really a fun result other than that, but I'm going to tell you my kids a lot of times, it's like some things I say, you're just like, wow, I am old fashioned. So what can I say?
I love the details of that golf result though. Just like the year, the golf course,
exactly.
the who beat you.
Yeah.
That was pretty impressive. Yeah.
That's so funny. Yeah, Vicky works, for people listening or watching, Vicky works at the LPGA Tour now. So I'll have to show her this clip and she'll, be like, all right, that's right. I did
We're
that.
good. Yeah.
Well, thank you
Annika,
so
thank
much,
you.
Annika. We really, really appreciate you joining. I can't wait for
Absolutely.
everyone to listen and watch this episode, and be sure to tune in and watch the Annika Driven by Gamebridge at Pelican, because it is going to be a great week. It always is. So thank you again, and I'll see you in a couple weeks.
You got it. Thank you very much
Thank you,
for
Annika.
having me.
Thank you.
Take care. Bye.
All right. Well, thank you to Annika for joining. I am honestly so excited for the Annika Driven by Gamebridge at Pelican. It is one of my favorite tournaments. I feel like I say that about so many tournaments, but I really like it. From my first year that I went, it's just one that I always enjoy going back to, and it's one I can drive to. So pretty cool to have someone like Annika hosting a tournament on the LPGA Tour. And I think at one point, this actually flows very nicely into our next topic. I think at one point, if we could have built our perfect player, we probably would have picked Annika for every single category because, well, yeah, she won 72 times. So obviously everything was pretty dialed in, but it is time for a game. And we love a game on this podcast, okay?
I love a game. I love a game.
Emma loves a game. Emma was very excited to get this game underway because when Adam had the idea of this, before I even could say oh, that sounds like a good idea, Emma had already sent in her picks. So let me quickly explain it. Y'all have probably, everyone listening and watching has probably heard of something like this before, but it's build your perfect player. So essentially we are going to pick from the LPGA Tour who you would like to have in driving, approach game, short game, putting, and mental. And so that basically will build the perfect player. And these are just our opinions, and we want everyone to get involved. So comment what you think. But first, we are going to start with driving. So,
I gotta just say, if you want
Okay,
to let us know
please.
who you think won the game, that would be great. Because I usually win the game. So if you could just vote for Emma's perfect
you've won
player.
one game. You've won one game, okay?
All I do is win, no matter what.
She is 1 for 1, technically.
So okay, all right,
But
let's
yes,
go.
If you want to let us know who the most perfect player is,
Yes.
that would be awesome.
Yes, I agree.
We'll listen to your ideas as well if you have a perfect player in mind.
I guess so.
I guess.
Emma's already won. What's the point?
Yeah, apparently. Why even play the game at this point?
All right, let's do it. Driving.
Anyways, okay, Adam, kick us off.
Nelly, what more can you say? Nelly, the stats are there. The eye test is there. I want Nelly's
Fair.
driving all day, and I want it twice on Sunday.
Love it. I picked Jennifer Kupcho. She hits a tight fade. Always, if she misses it, it's right, but she hits it long and straight.
I picked Hate on You. I was going to pick Nelly, but then I saw you pick Nelly, so I was like, okay, we're going to change it up. So I picked Hate on. I think the way that she's played this year, her tee to green is amazing. So picked Hate on. Next up, we have Approach Game. So should we just go in the same order?
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay,
Adam.
Adam, go.
Well, your pick, I'm just going to copy paste exactly the same. I picked Hit on Rue for my approach
All right.
game. What did you say? Her tee to green game, just spectacular. So there you go. So
There it is.
she's my girl for approach. Yes.
All right.
I picked LC Lauren Coughlin. She's a
Yes.
dart thrower.
I like that. Okay, I picked Minji Lee because I feel like she was on top
Dart
of that
thrower.
stat for so long. I think she still is. So I'm just saying, Minji Lee is a good pick there. Next up, okay, this one's funny because I think we may have all picked the same person, but let's chat about short game. Adam, go.
Short game. The gold medalist herself, Lydia, had to just buttery soft hands and just such an impressive way around greens, no matter what is thrown at her. So Lydia Ko short game, need it, have to have it.
She does not play Lydia Ko. Same skis. Lydia Ko, that's yours too, Hope, right?
Yep.
All right,
Across the board,
all right.
Lydia.
Next, Lydia Ko, you're a baller. Let's move on.
Friend of the
putting.
pod.
Friend of the pod, putting. LC, Lauren, I bared witness to it in person, obviously, at the CPKC Women's Open earlier this summer, and just the way that she went about her business. And I think, Emma, you can definitely speak to this because you're close to her, but the way that she has gone about kind of rectifying, turning a weakness into a strength, right? Like her putting from years previous, it just was not great. You're looking at the numbers, but this year, oh my God, it has been so good. So LC,
good.
want it, need it. She's my putter.
She's my most interesting speed drill. If you can remember from that episode, whatever, you got to go listen to it if you didn't, because it's wacko, but it works for her. So you go, girl. My putting is going to be Lilia Vu. I mean, she's been one of my favorite putters since we were a junior golfer. She's such a good putter of the ball. So Lilia Vu, y'all.
That's a good one. I wanted to pick Lilia as well because I feel like every time I didn't pick her, but every time I see her in any situation, I'm like, oh, she's going to make it. Like I could turn around and be like, yeah, she made it already. But I did not pick Lilia. I picked Gino Titicun because I feel like she makes everything as well. Anytime, especially when she is on fire, like she is going to be making that putt. And we'll talk about her a little bit more later on, but she's just been on fire lately. So Gino Titicun. And last one is mental game, arguably the most important part of your golf game.
Yeah.
Adam, go.
I picked Charlie Hull for my mental game. I think there's been two things that have really kind of stood out that have been these hanging on quotes that just make me think like, yeah, she's kind of got it going. One, the shy kids don't get sweets comment from a couple years ago. And then just her attitude after taking down Nelly at the Solheim Cup a couple weeks ago as well. Just like she thrives in the heat of the battle. I want her. I want her mental fortitude. She rounds out my perfect player.
And I actually picked Gino for my mental game because she is so she just floats on the golf course. I don't know her mental game very well, but watching her walk around the golf course, she's just a player that I look up to in the mental game aspect. She really always has a smile on her face, no matter if it's good or bad or great or ugly. She always has a smile on her face, and she just is one of those people that even if she has a bad first run, she comes back the next day and gets it done. So, Gino, you're a superstar, and I had to put her in my lineup.
Fair enough. All right, my last one to round out my player is Ruoning Yin.
Yeah, that's a good one.
She is just so confident, and every single time I see her on the golf course, she's either like dialed in or like laughing with somebody. There's like no in between. I'm just like, I want to be like best friends with her because I just think she's like the coolest person. Yeah. She's so funny, and yeah, we love her. Another friend of the pod, guys. So if anyone wants to hear from any of these players, we've had some of them on, so go check it out. But that rounds out our perfect player.
Hope,
so let us know.
Yeah, we should put them in the show notes and maybe in the caption on YouTube, and people can read up on our perfect players and
let us know.
Yeah,
I wish I would have put Hannah Green in mine now, but that's
she was my original mental game. I changed it.
Same, and I think that Hannah Green. We'll talk about her later too, but I actually. If I could be a player, that's who I'd be, because I feel like she's got it all going on pretty good.
If you see Emma showing up to the golf course looking exactly like Hannah with an Australian accent, just mind your business.
She's pretty cool. She's a cool cat.
I agree. Well, that was great. And like I said, we love a game, but now we got to get to the actual golf happening, I guess, because this is the LPGA podcast. So we have already had 2 weeks in Asia. They've been great weeks. I've been covering them remotely via LPGA now. I've been waking up at like 6 a.m. every morning to do them. And it's just been a couple good weeks and some really good winners and competition. But we have to start with the first week over there, which was the Buick LPGA Shanghai. Ruoning Yin won, speaking of Ronnie, in her home country, which is just absolutely amazing. She was dialed in, and like I was saying, she just looked so confident, and it paid off because she had a 6-shot victory, which is the largest margin on tour this season. So that's, not too bad, but we have to talk about exactly what she did that week because it was insane, and who better to talk about it than our stats guy, KPMG Performance Insights. Adam, take it away.
So I think that the 6-shot victory it was all gas, no brakes. There was not an ounce of let up, and the reason why she was able to do exactly that is wrapped in this week's KPMG Performance Insights. It's all about how she efforted on the weekend. She gained on the weekend, the third and fourth round, she gained almost 15 shots to the field. She was
Nuts.
up 14 and 3/4 shots on her strokes gained total. She was 44% on the birdies or better. That's almost birdieing almost half the holes on the weekend. Strokes gained total on the weekend, 14 and 3/4 shots for that 6-shot victory. KPMG Performance Insights. Holy smokes, Ruoning Yin, absolute dominance on the weekend for that victory.
Insane. I want to talk about it with you. Obviously, Adam just kind of went over the stats of it, but when you look at a player like Ronnie, I mean, she's been playing so well this season. She hits it so far, and she's so small in stature. I just love Ronnie, but like, what is it about her game and what she does that makes her so consistent? And like, how can you even win a tournament by 6 shots? Like, how can you be that far ahead from the rest of the field?
Well, you do what she did. She went bogey free for the last 2 days of the tournament. And, you know, I think it's really cool that she won in her home country. I think that is just so cool. I think there was probably a little bit of determination going into the weekend that I want to win this and I want to do it for my country. She is such a baller. She is so consistent. Like you said, she's always in the pack, and it's really cool to watch. I mean, she's had an unbelievable year this year. And I feel like Ronnie's one of those people, when she's on, like, watch out world, because it's she's not scared to take it low. And I think some players sometimes forget how to take it really deep. And she's one of those players that I could see her shooting 59 in the future, because she's one of those players that doesn't care if she's 10 under. She just keeps going. And I think that's hard. It's, coming from a player's perspective, I think it's hard to do that. Even going bogey free on the weekend to win, that's a hard thing to do mentally. So kudos to Ronnie. She absolutely crushed it, and she always does. But winning in your home country, like I said, is cool. Just unbelievable. We only play there once a year, and she did it. And I don't know how many people know this, but our Asia swing, women's golf in Asia is like football or baseball in America. So sometimes these players have to have bodyguards. There's so many people swarming them. So if you can only imagine, like, it's not like a normal LPGA event. This was so cool. And I saw that she spent hours after her winning round to sign autographs. And
she's got the chills.
She's a celebrity. I mean, she's a celebrity there. So just so cool. Absolutely amazing. Super happy for her. And she works her butt off too. So it paid off.
It definitely did. Another player I kind of want to talk about in this category is Gino. We've already mentioned her, but she has been playing so well lately, and I feel like we are going to see her come out on top very soon. Her last 5 finishes have been tied for 8th, tied for 5th, tied for 7th, 2nd, and tied for 4th. She is just trending, and she is playing so well. So I think she's someone to keep an eye on, but I just wanted to like quickly highlight what she's doing and just say that take a little mental note, guys, because I think we'll see her at the top very, very soon. And also, she won the Dow Championship with Ronnie earlier in the year. So
I think that helps when your best friend is playing well too, because it's like, it's almost a little competition. So I'm sure they're vibing off each other. And they play a lot of practice rounds together too, which is very helpful.
Well, last week, so after Shanghai, we went straight to Korea. And that I've never been to that tournament, but it is like at the top of my list because I just know the crowds are insane. Yes. And it's beautiful there. I really, really want to go. But
the food.
Yes, and the food. I love it. I need to go. But I want to go just like for fun. I kind of want to just be a spectator.
Yes.
So, Adam, if I take the week off next year and I'm in Korea,
just there. Yeah, exactly.
don't mind me.
Yeah.
But
It's like, I need you to fill in for this one. Oh, okay, great. What are you doing? I'm going to Korea.
well, I'm watching golf, so no. But it was another incredible week. Hannah Green won for the third time this season, and I feel like there's been so many players doing big things like Lydia Ko and Nelly Korda that people may have forgotten how much Hannah has dominated this season. She's kind of like a silent killer. I mean, she won twice early in the year, almost won again, and then won last week in Korea, a tournament that so many people really, really want to win. So Adam, I just want you to kind of like tell the people just how crazy it is that we've had, tell the listeners how crazy it is that we've had so many people dominating, because that's so hard to do on this tour.
Yeah, and I think you look at the body of work from maybe the last half decade or so, and there hasn't, yes, there's been some individuals who have done absolutely tremendous things and have gone on runs, and even take the Nelly and Jin Young Ko a couple of years ago. Like things have happened, but to have the collection of impressive all-time top tier results from this trio of golfers, it's great for, I think, the LPGA Tour, because and it's kind of funny about Hannah, because like, let's take any other season maybe of the last 3-4 and like 3 wins on the year, like that's absolutely incredible given what she's done, where she's been able to do it. But you had Nelly winning 6 tournaments in a row, doing her thing. You had Lydia Ko obviously winning the gold medal, winning multiple times. And it's kind of like, okay, these other players have done so many different all-time in the record book kind of things. And then here's Hannah almost like she had a normal year, winning 3 times sort of things. And obviously I wouldn't be kind of the stats person without looking up the stats. And I think the curious thing for me from kind of looking at how Hannah has played so far this year is that she's not like dominating in any particular area, right? Like Tita Green, KPMG Performance Insights, again, back to them, but Tita Green, strokes gained, she's 27th on tour. Driving, she's 69th on tour. Approach, she's 21st, and putting, she's 18th. So it's not like she is putting everything together in a way that is like so eye-opening. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
She's just managing to win friggin' golf tournaments, and that's not easy to do. So you zoom out, you remove yourself from the statistics, which we are seeing obviously from Lydia and from Nelly, and you realize that she's got that dog in her and is just out there doing it. And kudos to her. I think that's the final comment, right? Like, you win once on the LPGA Tour, that is incredible. You win twice, that's a career for some people. You win 3 times in whatever it's been, 8 months. That's an all-time year. She should be incredibly proud of herself. It's just so crazy to know that, like, the other 2 people who have also won multiple times have done like these incredible record-setting kind of things. But it's going to be pretty darn sweet to see this CME Group Tour Championship in a couple weeks, because if we're talking best on best, it's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to throw one thing in real quick about Hannah too. You're talking about her stats, and, she's not the top one, but if you talk to Bob Rotella, if you talk to any mental coach, they all talk about it's not winning with your A game, it's managing the B game. And I think that's what Hannah does really, really well, is she's not one of these players that she only wins when she has her A game. She's winning with her B game because she knows how to manage herself, and she knows
which is damn impressive.
Yeah, and I think that's what a lot of people forget. Obviously, it's great to be number one in some sort of stat, but that's not really what's going to win you golf tournaments. It's managing your B game and managing your C game so that when you are putting well that week, you do win. So I think that's something that Hannah Green has always done really well, and obviously she did that really well last week.
Yeah, she definitely did. But you actually mentioned, Adam, the CME Group Tour Championship, which I'm also very excited for. And it's crazy that it's just, less than 5 weeks away or something. I don't know. It's coming up very quickly. But before we get to that, we do still have 2 more weeks in Asia. So let's go over where we are. All the players, everyone has already gotten to Malaysia. So it's the Maybank Championship, and this is the second year that we've had this tournament. And then after Malaysia, everyone heads to the Toto Japan Classic, and that is a tournament that we've had for quite a while. So I know Malaysia is like so hot right now. And I feel like the players and the caddies and the staff, like going from all these different like climates and these different places, how, especially the players that are trying to get into CME or trying to, like move up the rankings, are they just like so tired right now, Emma? Like, like mentally, physically, emotionally, like are they not probably just exhausted?
Yeah, I remember my rookie year going to Asia, and it was almost like that's what killed me was Asia. It's like the best few weeks because you're in different countries, you're experiencing different cultures, golf courses, but it's also exhausting because the flights between the countries are not that short. And also you're jet lagged and it's hot. And a lot of times the drives to the golf course are like an hour, and every day you tee off in the morning, so you don't have any days that you get to sleep in. So it's pretty exhausting. And I know, same as you, Hope, the players are exhausted, the caddies are exhausted, and they have two more. But this is one of those things that I think you see a lot of the vets start playing well at the end of the season because they know how to manage their energy the best. And I think that's really what makes the difference at the end of the season. Most of the time, and now that I say this, it's going to be not true, but by CME, you almost always have a vet win that event. And I think it's because they know how to manage their energy when it comes to the last term of the year. Because it's hard. It's a long season. It's pretty compact. And on our tour, unlike the men's tour, you have to play to be on the top on this tour. You have to play the event. So they're very tired. They're not. You never get used to it. It's very difficult. So hopefully they can get some sleep. I know a lot of girls, because of where Hawaii is placed this year, they will get a little bit of a break. So that's good.
Yeah. But then on the other side, like on the other hand, you have the select few that are playing every week in Asia, Japan, and the Annika, like at Pelican, which is so crazy. I can't even imagine. But, the great thing about it is that you get to be, like you said, in Asia, exploring all of these countries that are so beautiful and like welcome our tour with open arms. So it's great.
Golf.
Yeah, they love it. So it's amazing. But at the same time, it's like, they've got to be so tired. I just wanted to ask you about that because it's just a crazy
so
stretch.
Tired. You were so tired. When I say tired, I mean they're sleeping on the bus on the way home. They're exhausted.
Got to get their sleep in whenever they can.
Yeah, it's hard.
Well, before we move on to our next segment, which will be the last segment, I feel best time of the year, hands down. But I feel like we have to talk quickly about Celine Boutier because she almost won last week. She was just one shot behind Hannah, and she won this tournament last year. So, yeah, I was like, right. But yes, she definitely did. I feel like, I'm like, she definitely did. It's because her and Gino had like a 9-hole playoff, which is wild. So let's hope that does not happen again. But Celine has been playing so well. So Emma, why do you think she's maybe someone to keep an eye on this week, and why I feel like she always starts playing well at the end of the year as well?
Yeah, you know what? I'm actually shocked that none of us put her in our top lineup because she's another player that kind of dominates our tour. She's always at the top. She is a putting machine. I feel like she's another player that makes everything. And she's got the middle game of a brick wall. I mean, she does not let anything in or anything out. You know what I mean? Like no one really.
I was like, what does that mean? But I got you.
Yeah, I mean that was a weird analogy. Sorry, but I'm kind of weird, so that's that. But yeah, she like is she's just hardcore and she gets it done. And yeah, I feel you on that. I think that she is someone else to watch along with Gino in the next couple of weeks because she's been very close and she knows how to get done, and she ain't scared. She ain't scared.
She is not scared. But you know what is scary? Spooky season. A great transition there. As we know, Halloween is coming up. It's a great, fun holiday, and we wanted to kind of play into that a little bit in our last segment of the podcast. And that is, so in honor of spooky season, what is the spookiest thing that can happen on a golf course? Adam, kick us off.
There's a lot of spooky things that can happen on a golf course, from the beer not being served at a particular time in the day to
So
Amateur
you're looking for the Bev
status.
Cart girl
That's right.
everywhere.
Here's the
Where-
amateur status coming through.
exactly.
Mine
Oh,
was way
same.
different than this.
Then where is that? If there's no hot dogs at the turn, all these
A
things.
glizzy.
A glizzy. But I think the spookiest thing is getting paired up randomly with someone who then turns out to be a complete dud. Like, golf is a social game, and you want to have fun, and you want to make a new friend, and you want to enjoy your 4 hours, out there. But the spookiest thing is that that little handshake at the beginning of the day. Hey, I'm Adam.
You can tell.
And then it's like,
The finger.
no thanks. So that would be my spookiest thing. It was all well and good.
Good
It was
one.
kind of funny before, like, okay, what's not available? But you got to spend 4 hours with someone. You'd rather them be, somewhat polite, and you can always bond over golf. But if they're taking things too seriously, or if they're just being a complete jerk,
Throwing clubs.
we don't need that.
Like,
we don't need that. Come on,
get that out of
get
here.
it out of here. So that would be spooky to me.
Okay.
Okay,
That's spooky.
mine is a bit different because I am a professional golfer, so I don't really care
Okay.
who I'm playing with.
Period.
But mine is the yips. And when I say the yips, I mean everything down the line. Like, when you have, a few years ago, I had the bunker yips. And when I got in a bunker, I legit didn't know what was going to happen.
Oh, God.
And
so
that's
scary.
really scary. And then also the putting yips. And I know professionals and amateurs go through this. Those, like, 2-footers that have never been a problem all of a sudden become like,
Your worst nightmare.
yeah. So I definitely think that spooky season for me is the yips. Sometimes even chipping yips, tight lies, and you're like, is this going to go 20 yards over the green, or am I?
Oh, that's
am
what
about
I
to
do
chunk
every
it?
time.
Yeah. So, like, I need to help you with that. I'll give you some lessons, but
For the love of God, help me.
I think the yips, and that goes for everything. I also hit a shank. I think I told you guys a few weeks ago, I was playing an Epson Tour event, and I was 7 under through 13, and then on the next hole, I shanked it out of nowhere.
Oh, no.
And I was like, oh, where did that come from? So, the yips are just a bit frightening.
Yeah.
Hope, what are you thinking? What's your
Okay.
spooky?
Well,
Your dress,
I thought.
your outfit going wrong?
I mean, yeah. I want to look cute.
Yeah.
So sit down, Emma. That might have been it. No, I'm just kidding. That's not it. But I did think about a lot of different things. But the thing that came out on top for me, like, especially like you were saying, being an AM, like, I never know what's going to happen out on the golf course. But I think the worst possible thing is when you go to the range and you're hitting it so well. You're doing great. You're like, that was a great, like, little warm-up sesh. And then you get out on the course. Terrible. And it's like the
gone.
complete opposite. And you're like, what happened to me 10 minutes ago? Where is she?
That is
Why did she
scary.
not show up? So
That happens to me all the time.
Really?
Oh, no.
I hate it. I agree
Oh,
with you,
no.
Hope. It's
Good
like
to know that
sometimes-
never goes away.
You guys go to
Well-
the driving range?
Well, also, I feel like the opposite happens a lot, which is like the best feeling. When you go to the range, you have an
Yes.
awful warm up, and then you get on the course and everything's great. And you're like, oh, okay,
Yeah.
this is fun.
See, that's not spooky. I'll take that any day.
Yeah,
not so
I'll
bad.
take that any day.
So
That's
we
like
don't-
Easter. He has risen
He has risen.
instead of spooky season.
We'll remember that next.
Yeah, a little
next
gift under the
Easter.
tree. Maybe for Christmas time we can
Yeah.
Okay, yeah,
well,
maybe that's right.
figure it out.
little Christmas. Oh my God. Okay. Well, those are all some very spooky things. And another thing that we want y'all to get involved in. So please drop us the most spooky thing that can happen on the golf course, or maybe that has happened to you. But that wraps us up. Wrap it up, guys. That was a great episode. And I'm excited for this week. Malaysia, we don't know who's going to win, but everyone stay tuned. Be sure to watch because I know it is going to be interesting. And if you are sleeping like most people when it is on, then wake up and watch my LPGA now because Adam is going to be filling in for me in Japan and it's going to be great. So tune in. Thank you everyone for listening. Leave a review, like all of the things, but thanks for doing this, guys.
Y'all come back now.